Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve Ramona and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast. Steve Ramona.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. Doing business and life with a purpose, serving others, and yes, achieving success. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. We created this show for you. We want everyone to be motivated, inspired, and educated to make an impact in your world. And yes, I said your world. Let's start small, and it will grow bigger as time goes on. My incredible guest, I was just talking to her before the show. She got some incredible information you're going to hear. But while you're listening to my guest, I want you to think about how you're going to serve today and what impact you create with that service today. Really think about it and go out and do it. It might be helping a lady take her groceries or take a can from the shelf in the grocery store. It might be helping a person, walk across the street. Whatever that is, just go out and do it and let me know how you feel. Send me an email. I'd love to hear about it. I want to thank my sponsor, pitchdb.com. Be a guest in over 3 million podcasts. Speak at over 11,000 conferences and much more. Build your thought leader platform with incredible opportunities to show who you really are. With that being said, as you could tell, impact is a big thing in my life and what I mentor and keynote speak. This is an impact from a mother of two who started her own business. And I want to welcome Heather to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. I want to start there. How's a mom of two build such a great business?
Oh my goodness. Perseverance, dedication, passion, just the way I raised those two kiddos who are young adults today, very successful. I believed really, really early on, play hard, work hard. That was our work ethic, I didn't allow them any breaks. After high school, I said, no, you're going to go and do what you need to do. And it was up to them to do that. And they figured it out early and they're very successful as well. I just believe in morals and structure and passion and fun. And it all came together. Let's
get down and dirty. I love that. You like to tell people's stories. You say you have a new, unique way of coaching that. Tell us what that is.
My avatar, the women that I work with women. I believe that it's really important for everybody to have a story and to share a story. And my story is very unique as well. But when I'm talking to potential prospects or potential clients, I really value their story. And it's not just about surface level, just about them. It's about their family, because I don't want to just touch their lives. I want to touch their families' lives. So I spend a lot of time trying to figure out and learning and asking a lot of questions for them to share with me, because they've been ridiculed. They've been told they can't. They've been told they won't. They've been told that, being online or having a social media online presence or building a business is a joke, when I take it very seriously. So I really encourage them to say, no, you need to stand up. You do have a voice and it's time for you to share. It's time for you to understand that you do have value and somebody else out there needs to hear it. And it's your turn.
I love it. What's one mistake people make trying to tell a story?
That they get too personal, that they take too much time and they overthink it. So there's 3. Sorry about that, but it's really true. They overthink it. And I'm like, no, you know what? Everything you share is a part of you. It belongs to you. It's your DNA. It's your brand. It's who you stand for. It's what you are. And every part of it belongs to you. And you're growing from that. But don't overthink it. Just share it.
I love branding, but I love attraction marketing. It's a unique term. It's out there. Talk about that for people out there listening who don't know what that is.
So yes, absolutely. As a branding and attraction marketing coach, I meet a lot of women who just don't understand one or the other. So attraction marketing is where I'm putting out information, value, motivation, inspiration, and education out there that attracts like-minded people to me, for the same reason, for the same cause, for the same interest, so that I can let them know or be aware that I do have something I can help them with if they are the right person for me, and that they feel that I am the one who can lead them from where they are to where they want to go.
I like that. Dive deeper into that, because I'm getting to go deeper into the attraction part, because I that's how you build relationships.
Yes.
Only way.
Yes.
Well, not the only way, but one of the best ways. So go deeper into that and building a relationship.
So when we are trying to attract our ideal person, or someone that we feel that we can help, and if they come into your service, your community, your product, or whatever you have to build that integrity in that relationship. So we know we got to build a know, like, and trust factor, and trust equals sales. We can build the know and the like all day long. I like you, I know you, I like you, I know you, but that trust factor takes time and takes patience. And unfortunately, too many people give up just before their breakthrough moments. So building relationships, having constructive conversations, knowing what to say, having empathy, knowing how to really listen, be of interest and not just interesting, is the key to building.
Yeah, and you said a word there that describes servant heart: help.
Yes.
So when you say help, how do you coach that with people? And they go, okay, Heather, I want to coach. I mean, I want to help.
Yeah.
But I don't know where to start.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so the first thing I do is I get them to share their story with me, because that's the first thing. We're going to launch into this. And I want you to be of influence today. When you launch your business, or when you launch who you are in your brand as that strong person, even though you may not feel it, I'm going to protrude you to be real and strong. We're going to share your brand story. And from there, it's learning how to create content that brings awareness to who you are, what you do. And I'm an ex-ESL teacher, so conversation is everything to me, and speaking in words of influence. But you got to build the integrity. You have to build the relationships. You got to build that trust with people, so that they trust in you, so that they can become, and because you are the living proof. And I wanted to be that person. So I had to change a couple of things, and that's why I wrote my book, because I just didn't like the way I was being tolded and folded.
Told and folded. I like that. That's one I'm going to write down.
Okay.
So you started your new business. You work with women to start new businesses. What's the challenges that somebody listening needs to be aware of?
Yeah. Well, because I teach branding, how to stand tall and create your own brand, because you are a unique voice and you need to share, and attraction marketing. It's the fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of where to start, fear of being ridiculed, fear of, the offer. And I love sales. I'm a sales girl. I've always been in sales. And it's just understanding that you need to have confidence. So it starts with confidence and mindset. And I teach that because I think that's where it belongs. I think it's so important. We got to have a steadfast ground. That's the foundation of everything. Mindset, and then skill set to your freedom.
Confidence is perfect.
Right?
But isn't accountability a big part of that? That's why you come in.
Oh, yes. Be accountable for that, and be aware. And a lot of women that I work with are not aware of that. And they don't have that confidence built into them. So I like to, I work really slowly with them, and I talk to them really carefully, because if they don't have the capacity to think like that, I want to instill that with them, and let them understand that we just got to start. We just got to take that first step to be accountable for your actions, so that you can get the level of success that you want. No matter what level that is, doesn't matter. But that it's progress over perfection.
Yeah, that's you're popping lines out left and right here. I can't keep up. This is great. So I want to learn the journey, me and the audience, the journey of a new client coming in. You got this female entrepreneur, where they've started or 5 years in the business. I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What's the journey look like in Cliff Notes?
Well, we meet and greet, we build rapport, and it doesn't take long, because I ask a lot of questions, because I really want to get to know you, that woman, the emotional side of her, the physical side of her, what she's gone through, and why she has landed in my lap, why she has said yes to a conversation with me, having a coffee chat. And that's one part of my book. And so I take them through a series of questions. in their onboarding. And then we start with their brand, understanding what their vision and mission is in goals for their life, for their journey, because they are allowing me to be a part of that. I'm just the messenger. I'm the person that is going to be able to give them options. I will never tell anybody what to do with their business, right? I'm going to give you options because I want to see that woman bloom. I want to see what kind of inspiration I can instill in her so that she comes out being the flower, not me. I am the messenger, and that's really important. And we work through a series of modules and times and curriculum, slowly, handheld. This is handheld. And so that I can empower, create the mindset, the skill set from lead generation, all the way to sales, offering, and closing.
And audience, this is a virtual handheld. She doesn't drive by
Yeah.
everybody's house and do that. I know people understand. I just want to make sure.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for
I
clarifying
love
that.
that. No, and I think a virtual handshake works just as well, or handheld, as anything else, especially if that's all we can do. Let's jump into the book. What was your mission to write this book?
Ooh, that's a great question. Thank you. It's funny because I wanted to have started a podcast years ago, and I've had this self-reflection moment, and I said, no, you're not ready. Yeah, I'm just not ready. I was at a time where things were really moving quickly, and my coaching and the onboarding, and it was really incredible. And I said, not yet. And then I was sitting on the beach having a sangria 2 summers ago, and I said, I'm writing it. And I got out my phone and I wrote the name of the book. And the inspiration was because I had been told it and folded so many times that I need to do things in a certain way, and there was only one way of getting somewhere. And no, that's not true. Not in my world, not in my brain. There are multiple ways that we can end up at the same result, a good result. A good person has good morals, good standards. And so I wanted to change the narrative. And this is really a book about conversations, building an audience, engaging with your audience to sell to your audience. So the book is Build, Engage, Sell. And I broke it up like that so that women, anyone who reads it understands what the foundation is. You have to build the audience to connect with them at that human level so that we can engage with them properly, and how we engage, what we share, why we share, what different aspects of the conversation, so that when we do go to offer, it's seamless. And it's not salesy, and it's not slimy and needy or greedy.
No pitching. I like that. No pitching sign comes to my head.
Yeah, nothing like that.
People that read the book, what are a few tips that they're going to get from the book after they read it?
Well, they can implement just as quickly as they read. And it's a quick read. I have a lot of people who have messaged me from the airplane. Oh my gosh, I'm reading it and I'm already I'm almost done. It's that great. So I got to use this and I got to use this. So it's really, really, I give lots of information and guidelines on different content, sentences or conversation starting, and how to bridge from a conversation to a business conversation. Because people can build rapport, Steve, for so long. And then it's like, okay, well, you can't sit in rapport building mode forever because you're never going to amount. You're never going to sell. You got to be able to bridge. And so they see the transition, they feel the transition. And now I've made it clearer for them. And they say, I'm going to do that. I can do that because I'm just talking their language. I'm not talking sophistication. I'm talking as if I'm talking to a 6th grader. Let's be real. Let's not make this so complicated. Let's keep it simple.
It has to be simple in this crazy world. If it's not simple, it wouldn't work.
Thank you.
Where can people get the book? And say the title again. I want to make sure people have access to it.
Yeah, it's Coffee Chats, Build, Engage, Sell. Became a bestseller in 6 categories. I am on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Amazon is your best bet for sure.
Beautiful. And I'll have the link in the chat as well.
Thank you.
You grew up in Canada. This is a little personal, but you never went to school in Canada. How'd that happen?
Well, I am Canadian. I was born in Canada, but I spent 26, 28 years abroad. My dad was with the Canadian Embassy, so we moved all over the world. So I've lived in Germany, Austria, Sweden, South America, in Chile. I graduated in the Andes Mountains. It was incredible. I've been to multiple cities around the world. My mom and dad gave us, all 3 of us, an experience and a journey. So the stories are, I have lots of stories that I pull out when I'm sharing. So for sure.
Well, let's do that. Let's get into storytelling, because I love storytelling. I think they should be on podcast. What's one of the great stories of your travels through the years that you could tell us?
I remember being in Mombasa in Kenya and standing in the Indian Ocean. And I remember my parents being behind me. They were sitting, and I'm a water person. I love the water, so I'm standing in it. And my mom asked me a question, and I turned around and I answered her. And then I turned back and I saw this big yellow thing. It was actually red. The sun was red in the Indian Ocean. And then mom asked me another question. I turned back at her. And when I turned back, the sun had dissipated, like half of the sun was gone. The sun dropped so quickly in Kenya on the Mombasa beach. It was incredible. And I still see that today. I mean, falling out of the gondola in Venice and falling, going up the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and seeing the riding school in Vienna of the horses. I mean, taking ballet in Vienna. I mean, speaking Swedish on the streets and just traveling the Northern Hemisphere from the fjords and everything on the cruise. I mean, it just doesn't end. And it's a beautiful array of sing-song, dancing stories.
Those are great stories, and experiences are so awesome.
Yeah.
That's why people, if they can do it, need to do more of them. I'm going to try to sound smart, and I might blow this, but you're multilingual, which means you have multiple languages, right? Did I say the word right?
Yes.
How has that helped you in your life?
Well, my kids are like, Mom, can you get us a good deal? Sure.
Yeah.
So, I speak Spanish and German fluently. And so when I'm traveling, you can use, well, obviously English and German and Spanish are, multicultural. We speak them throughout the world. So I can barter pretty good. I kind of get my way. I can listen where I'm not supposed to listen. I can talk in front of my kids for Christmas, telling my husband what they're going to get when they were smaller, right? So it's been really an asset. And I just think it's been, it's helpful. Why not? Education is powerful. I believe in education, right? Learn. Every day you got to learn something. And I instill that in my kids today, and they're still like that. Like, they are entrepreneurs at heart. My daughter's a nurse and does incredible things. And my son is just incredible at what he's touching. So work hard, play hard. Yeah.
Yeah. You back at that. That's really good. And I've been told by very smart people that people that know multiple languages are really smart, because it's not easy. You got to be smart to do that, Well,
I didn't learn it in school either, Steve. So I learned it in the nitty gritty on the streets, right? And I'm an ex-ESL teacher, and I worked for 12 years in the Bonn Elementary School in Bonn when Bonn was the capital of Germany. So that's, so I was learning raw German, and I have an accent, and people are like, how the heck did you learn to speak better than some Germans? Right? And I still do that today. I can rattle off, and I can rattle off a couple of languages in my head in one sentence. I can pivot really, really quickly. And I've dictated a German war book from German into English. And I've sent that out to a colleague, a friend of ours, out in Nova Scotia. This is over 25 years ago I did this. So that was probably one of the biggest book projects I've done.
Yeah. Why don't you, can you say this in German? Steve Ramona has the greatest podcast in the world because he's awesome. Just kidding. Don't need to do that. And I love multiple. I know a little Spanish. I'm not to your level.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
I know it does make you, because I always feel more educated when I do that. I have teachers that listen to this show. Awesome. What was your experience teaching in the US school in Germany?
Loved it. And I was working with international students from diplomats, so the ambassadors of their country who were living in Bonn, because that was where all of the embassies were, right? It was one flag after the other when you were driving down the streets in Bonn. Exceptional value, incredible. And I learned from each and one of them. And then after I taught, I would do private tutoring, English tutoring. So I would go to the residences, and I would be whisked away in an elevator and down a shaft and over here to work with children so that they would improve their English. And I wish I could see them today. I don't have that contact, but incredible value. They taught me something, and I was able to help them with their English. God,
you have many great experiences. This is a joy for me because, sometimes we have to live through people, and that's okay. I don't think that's a problem, because some people can't travel like you did. You had the opportunity with the way your parents were set up and your dad. But I love hearing these stories because it gets us motivated to get out there and do that. Yeah. And speaking of stories, I'm going to get personal. I'm going to get personal with you. So what does Heather do? I know you like the beach. What does Heather do outside of her work?
I love the water. I love traveling. I love to go outside and exercise. So I love to work out. It's my happy place. It's my freedom. It's my time to think. I put on podcasts because I love the podcast. And I'm so glad that I have yours now to listen to and learn from. So I like to be outside. I move at my body. I'm out there. I'm helping in the community. I'm just really, really active, really active.
You made my heart sing because me and my family ran health clubs for 20 years, from 78
Wow.
to 2000, 22 years. So I was in the fitness field for a long time.
Love it.
Close to 20 years. And I agree with you to this day. I just got done working out, as a matter of fact, before this podcast. So
yeah. I love it too. It belongs in my ritual. I have a gym downstairs every day. And if it's when it's really nice and it's beautiful, warm, I'm outside running, and again in the afternoon, it just boosts me up again, and I can come back and I feel refreshed and ready to help more people.
our body's made to move. That's why God made our bodies this way, for sure.
That's right.
We're running to the end here. What's some final words you want to leave people regards of what you do, branding and attraction, your marketing coach?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking, because I meet so many women, Steve, that really feel disengaged, not connected. They feel like they can't. And I just want to be that hand that gives them a hand up. So always believe you will act and you will achieve. So believe, act, and you will achieve.
Wow. Believe, act, and you will say that again.
Believe to act and you will achieve.
Believe to act and you will achieve. Keep that. And real quick, before I get into my monologue here, how can people find you?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. And I'm on Instagram as well, so they can pick me up there. I also have a private community, and absolutely, that would be a wonderful thing.
This has been such a great podcast. Heather, I thank you so much.
Oh my goodness, thank you for having me.
You inspired me. I'm inspired the guests, the audience, the motivation, and the education. And with that being said, audience, there were so many great lines of education that she gave you, including that last one. I go back with the forward and reverse buttons of the podcast to write those down if I missed them or pick them up. Utilize those, because me and Heather would love for you to watch or listen to this whole podcast. But if we can educate you, motivate you, or inspire you in 5 or 6 minutes of the podcast, we're going to be happy. I'm going to speak for her because I know we've talked. She agrees. That's what we're here for. Hey, the whole 22, 23-minute podcast would be great, but take advantage of that. Don't look at a podcast, go, oh, it's 23 minutes long, I don't have that much time. Start it and finish it later, because you never know how you could change your life. With that being said, my TV show is every Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. It's on Roku, Apple, and all the streaming services. Don't forget, doing business with a servant's heart. Let's get that message out. Wear it on your chest, on your hat, head with a hat, a t-shirt, a hoodie. Let's get that message out and let people ask you, what does that mean to doing business with a servant's heart? As I always say, and I want to thank you all. Me and Heather are so appreciative that you listen and watch this podcast. And we'll see you on the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. See y'all.